Alright everyone, so today we're going to do the battery relocation with these 3D printed parts. Now, first thing we need to do is just give them a bit of a touch up with the paint because whoever's painted them hasn't painted them very well. So we're going to give these a quick spray up and then we'll skip over to the truck, do the strip down and the refitting process. And there's the green, so we're just going to go over it with a bit of Alfred's satin black. So I'm just going to give it a quick coat. So we're just holding on using one of the clips for the GoPro. Use this clip, so we're just going to give it a quick. So that looks much better. Okay, so I think we'll do this piece next. Now this one isn't too bad, so we'll just require a quick count. I'll just leave it laid down like that actually. That should be enough for that now, so we'll let those dry. Okay, so looking at this, we need to remove the shock just to gain easier access to the screw just behind it. Remove this screw, same on the other side, and then that looks like the battery tray will come straight out, which is great. And then we put this piece, you can see that, which will replace the cross brace there. And then the actual new tray itself, so we remove this piece and the piece on the other side to hold the rails, and then the rails will slide into the new battery tray as well. So yeah, it's not going to be particularly difficult to do, just a bit fiddly because of the amount of screws. Now that they're off, we're just going to crack on and remove the top of the shock. So that's that shock off. Let's spin it around now. Let's do the same on this side. So same again, this might not be 100% necessary, but like I say, having never done this before or watched videos on how to do it, it's just a bit of trial and error, but like I said, I'd rather just remove them now so then I know I don't need to do it again. Okay, so there we go, we've got full access now to these two screws. Yeah, that looks... Yep, there's only those two and the other two on the other side holding them on. So let's get those off. Okay, so I'm just going to prop the back end up. Okay, so that one's a little bit tight. I don't want to try that too much in case it rounds off. And same with that one. So we'll just grab... let me just grab the correct size Allen key bit for that. Okay, now for whatever reason the Allen bit's either too small or too big, but I've just fitted this, what size is it? This T8 torque bit. That seems to be doing fine, so we'll just go ahead and use this. Although it's not ideal, I'd say the other bits for whatever reason just refuse to work properly, so let's just wind these out. Okay, so there's one out. So as you can see there now, that's that off. One half of the battery tray is loose, so let's just spin it around. Right, so just off camera there, I did manage to get it out, just required two hands and a bit of a pull. So this small cross brace now is what's going to go in that gap there. So it's going to just sit in there, you can see that very well. That's just here. Let's get that popped in. Okay, so that's now in place, fitted nicely between the chassis rails. So same, this is just basically a reverse of the process now, so we just need to put the screws back in and then we can move on to the tray itself. Alright, so off camera there, we had to remove the brace again, and we had to just slightly drill out the holes because the stock holes that were printed into it were too tight for the screws. So I've drilled them out slightly. The drill bit I used was a 2.8mm drill bit, so I went just slightly below the actual width of the screw, and I also applied just a little bit of Loctite because, like I say, with it being 3D printed, you can't guarantee that the build inside is nice and clean and will provide sufficient grip for the screw. Now I know it's not a it's not a part that's going through a lot of stress, but either way, I'd still rather eliminate any form of flexing the chassis possible. So next what we're going to do is we're going to tackle the actual new battery tray, which, as I speak, has dried from paint. Apologies it being black on a black background and all that. But yeah, so that looks like it's going to sit that way. So you can see here that the bar from the slider will go through there, and it basically replaces this whole piece of slider and mounts straight onto there. Right, so now those are both off. Now you should be able to see here exactly how this fits. So that should go exactly back where the original one goes, just like that. So the sliders will go into the respective holes on there, and as you can see there now, we have dropped the battery by quite a significant amount. Now, as you may remember, the stock one was up here. So let me just grab a battery. So the battery usually would have been here somewhere, quite high up. Now it's going to be down here nice and low. So we've lowered the centre of gravity by quite a bit, and we've also removed sprung weight off the back axle as well by a bit. Okay, so we've just lined the first one up, so we're just gonna screw that back through there. So this just screws straight back into part of the chassis where the upper links mount to. So if you have a quick look now, you can see the position of what it sits in. So it's got this cutout here for the part of the box, which is perfect. It's sat completely flush. Oh no, not the one side yet, but it's basically sat completely flush to the chassis, so that's excellent. Alright, so it's all back together, so you can see the 3D printed part against the original part. So yeah, I'm really happy with that. Let's look on this side. So you go, so you can see there, it sits completely flush to the chassis rails. Okay, so that's all done and back together on the back end now. So let's have a look at some of the advantages of the relocation of the battery. Now the first one is we've removed a lot of sprung weight from off the rear end. Now we have moved it forward obviously, and obviously there still is some sprung weight, but it's nowhere near as bad as it was. Now normally on this, the way I've got it set up, when you lifted the back end up you would get the shocks to drop a touch. Now there's literally nothing. I think there's more flex in the tyre than what the springs are taking up. So that's one advantage. The second advantage is now we've lowered the centre of gravity as well, and we've spread the weight across the chassis rails. And the third advantage for us is our battery options. Now usually we would run the Florian 3S 3000 milliamps, and we'd also run the same brand but in 2S and 4000 milliamp, which is near as damn at the same size. So they're fine. However, we also have these. We have these 5200 Florian 2S packs as well. Now, in the original battery tray, let me just sit the camera down there for a second. So here is the original battery tray. Now, as you can see, when it's fully closed, like so, fitting one of these in, as you can see there from the height, isn't an issue at all. However, fitting a 5200 in doesn't work. It literally will not go in. Its footprint, fortunately, is identical to the original battery tray. However, as you can see there, you can get it to go over, but it won't snap shut. Now, obviously, with this, I'll just bring this back over here, position it over so you can see. The battery will fit in, and we can just put a few Velcro straps on and that'll work fine. Right, so we've got loads of these Florian straps lying around. So what we're going to do is just see if it will fit through there. It should fit, not a problem. Well, you see, now there's one flaw I have found already. So if you look at the position of where the holes are, when you put your battery thing through, the only way it can fit is to go over that. Now obviously I don't want that to be there like that because it just looks awful. So let's see if we can get it to go through that way. Apologies to any listeners who've got sensitive hearing and don't like the sound of rustling Velcro. I'll just try and get this done as fast as possible. Okay, so what I'm thinking is maybe something like that. Now I know it's not ideal. So we've got something there. Let's just grab this 5200. Okay, so it will work. It'll work fine. I won't have an issue with just trimming off the end of the strap here. But yeah, I think that should be perfectly fine, to be honest. Let's just pull it a bit tighter. Okay, that one seems alright. It might have to come over this way a touch. But yeah, that should be alright. I'll just whip the other one in off camera and we'll get back in a sec. Right, there we go. So that's now in there. You can see that the 5200 2S fits fine. That's absolutely spot on. That's so much better now. As I was saying just a few moments ago, the weight over the back usually allowed the springs to just extend fully when you're lifting it up, but now there's nothing at all, which is absolutely amazing. So there we go, that's the 3D printed battery tray mod done. There's the new cross brace fitted as well. Like I say, I had to drill them out slightly, and I put a little bit of the red Loctite in there as well, just to ensure that there was no slippage from the screws at all, because last thing I wanted was any of the screws coming off and all the upper suspension mounts coming loose. But yeah, really happy with that. What we'll do is we'll get out as soon as we can. We've got a busy schedule ahead. We've got a wedding, and then we've got the Jurassic Walk with Overland RC as well, and also then we go abroad for a week as well. So we've got a lot going on, so we'll try and get out as much as we can, get some filming done, see how it performs better or worse with this mod on. But I'm feeling hopeful for it, thinking it'll do a lot better than it has done. So yeah, so thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to drop us a like, click subscribe if you want to see more videos, and yeah, have a view of the other videos we've got, and yeah, we'll catch you another time. Thanks guys.